1986 formerly of this house, the current National Treasurer of the Association, and also the Vice Chairman of the Port Harcourt chapter. I am managing a construction firm. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Ifeanyi Okanchu of the 1980 set. I was in Faith House. I'm a mechanical engineer. I reside here in Port Harcourt, where I also run my business. Thank you.
My name is Tetenta, 1978 set. I'm an architect in practice. I live in Port Harcourt.
Good morning, everyone. It's great to be here again. My name is Ayo Joseph, 1977 set. I reside in Abuja. I came to Port Harcourt just to be part of this AGM. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Blessing Alisa, 2014 set. I reside in Port Harcourt. Thank you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. All protocols for track. Thank you for the introduction. I'm happy to see a pioneer set with us today. I think that's always attended all of you. Thank you very much.
This event was made possible by members that donated funds. I say big thank you to all those that donated. Once more, I welcome every other person. We would have had this event physically, but due to the restrictions in River State, and we decided to have it virtually. We would have had a bonding session, would have interacted, would have discussed, but everything would still be done. We try to have a seamless session, we try to interact, we try to discuss. And I welcome you all. Relax and enjoy. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Madam Vice President. Before I go on, I want to ask for a I want to make a very big apology. I'm sorry, Mr. Chairman, BOT. I just forgot the first time to re-acknowledge you again. I can see you online, from wherever you are, I don't know, but you know you are there. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I know you've been logged on for the past 30 minutes. Thank you for your presence and your leadership. We extol such leadership and thank you very much. And also, those of you online, we can see you. I can see Togomo, Najele, Eltebas, Ugiazumo, a lot of other people doing that pathway. Some of you I cannot call because I don't see you online and we're making notes of everybody online. Now I'll move on to the President's opening remarks. Mr. President, sir.
The Chairman, BOT, we want to start by the already existing protocols. Making these opening remarks, I just want to make it very clear because we still have a lot of items on the agenda. This is an unusual AGM for the former ones. Making it build on the Zoom platform for obvious reasons and because of the prevailing security situations across the country. We wanted to ensure that we don't put too many people in danger in terms of the COVID-19 protocols and also the security challenges. Be that as it may, we also relate to that consist of cases that are extra here. So take care of local executive and so for those who are here, so big, thank you for sparing your time. For this meeting. We notice the introduction segment has been made very abridged because of the platform we are using and the technical team has been directed to take care of whatever issues that come up. We want to employ you all this here with us present technical issues, but we do our best to ensure that at this end those issues are addressed and maybe future meetings we will improve the standard we are starting today. On that note, I welcome you all to this important and great AGM taking place virtually in Port Harcourt and within the premises of the Presidential Port Harcourt. I do hope and we look forward to having useful contributions towards the success of this AGM. That note, I will hand over the microphone back to the MC who will be conducting the AGM and will run us through the agenda items as they are. Thank you very much. I wish you all a great evening.
Thank you, Mr. President, for the opening remarks and being all welcome to this session. Without much ado, we move straight over to the President's report. So, Mr. President, you have a few seconds to carry this on. We still have more people logging on, but just like I said, we're taking notice of everybody and we're going to write the attendance list. Also, please remember all your comments and observations, please put them on the chat side of the Zoom. We'll look at all of them, collect them, and discuss them as we go ahead. Mr. President, sir, if you're ready, we're ready for the report.
The chairman and members of the Board of Trustees, I stand here again to run the agenda items on this during this meeting, and that is the President's report. A copy of it is already in the magazine produced, copies of which some will be distributed in hard copies, but it will still be made available to electronic platforms. On that basis, I go straight to my prepared speech, and it goes thus. The chairman and members of the Board of Trustees, Federal Government College Ilorin Post-Grad Association, members of the National Executive Committee of Federal Government College Ilorin Post-Grad Association, and all distinguished members of our great association. Before I present my address and public report on the occasion of this 2021 AGM taking place at Port Harcourt on 5th of June 2021, I will request that for those of us present here, and maybe wherever we are, we should please rise to observe 1 minute silence in honor of our departed colleagues who passed on to the great New York. Please, those hereby rise. May their gentle souls rest in perfect peace.
Amen.
Please, it is with all humility and gratitude to Almighty God that I present this report on this occasion, marking the 2021 8th year of our association, being hosted by the Port Harcourt chapter in the great city of Port Harcourt. I personally welcome you all to this 8th year, which is taking place virtually as a result of restrictions placed on social gatherings due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Also, I thank you all for linking up on this platform, despite its constraints, and for continuing to spare out your time to participate in this year. Despite the fact that it was rescheduled from 20th February 2021, when it was originally scheduled to take place. It will be recalled that the National Executive Committee of this association was inaugurated on 14th March 2020, barely 2 weeks into its tenure. The nation and indeed whole world experienced a lockdown of severe magnitude as a result of the spike in COVID-19 infections worldwide. This pandemic delivered a serious setback in the association activities, especially in the second quarter of 2020 and part of the third quarter of 2020. The effects of this lockdown was felt in all spheres of the economy and resulted in the nation experiencing an economic recession which we have not yet fully recovered till date. This development presented a serious challenge to our association at all levels, especially at the chapters and set levels. These levels were more preoccupied with offering welfare support to their members through self and collective contributions to assist the less privileged members of the association. I would not want to bore you with the details of such supports, as the reports from the various chapters have said will indicate the level of support, all in the spirit of brotherhood and in tandem with our motto, Role Unitatis. However, please suffice to state that social distancing posed a lot of challenges in the running of the association, as most activities that develop bonding, networking, sharing of memories were almost non-existent, as the Zoom platform would not provide the required physical interaction. Despite these challenges, it is necessary to commend the various chapters and sets for their great efforts in keeping the association alive during this period. It is worthy to note that the nation has also experienced a second spike and is currently under tight restrictions as a result of the pandemic and the current state of insecurity. As not spared, the association, as members, are seriously restricted in their movements across the country, which would have improved the level of interaction among members of the association. It is to be stated that on receipt of the mandate of leadership of this great association on 14th March 2020, the National Expo commenced work immediately by holding a meeting within minutes, and thereafter, several meetings have been held on the Zoom platform. Due to wide dispersal of the members across the 4 chapters, that is, Lagos, Ilorin, Abuja, and Port Harcourt. Furthermore, a lot of interactions were sustained using the set red platform. In the quest to reposition the association to greater heights, the national president undertook a visit to all the 4 chapters to give necessary support and guidelines in the 4 chapters towards repositioning the association to greater heights, despite the equivalencies of the various protocols associated with the COVID-19 pandemic. It will be necessary to state that our association has remained a key player in the USUSA brand. In doing so, our association has paid up all its financial commitment to USUSA and actively participated with a large attendance at the USUSA plenary held in December 2020 at Abuja, and also the funeral ceremony of his first President General, late Mr. Lawrence Okubaga. Presently, we are at an advanced stage of activating the social empowerment and networking platform in Ilorin. The constitution of the association has undergone several reviews, and a draft of the reviewed constitution was presented by the previous expo. This draft has also undergone several reviews, leading to the final for this draft that will be presented during this year for further considerations as deemed appropriate when we get to the agenda item. The importance of constitution to an organization such as ours need not be overemphasized, as this the oxygen of our association that keeps us alive. It is my conviction that this is not the period to read out achievements, as a task of moving the association forward is a collective task for all members. While accommodation is being given to members who are financially up to date and the various chapters are set, it is important to state that the level of financial support to the association in form of dues is generally low. Details of such support will be presented by the treasurer during this AGM. However, it is to be stated that dues alone are not enough to achieve the association financial sustainability that is germane, as it will enable it to achieve desired impact in the lives of our members and our alma mater. There will be the need to devise necessary financial solutions that will enable us to effectively fund the association. This brings to fore that our alma mater will be 50 years on 15 February 2023, and there is the need to set up a special committee that will develop the necessary financial structures, not only to celebrate the occasion, but also to derive sustainable finances for the association in the years ahead. The details will also be discussed during this year. It is to be noted that our association, though being a member of SOSA, should not shy away from being a leading advocacy group in the country. We can leverage and seek support to the association on behalf of our alma mater, using contacts within our association, occupying strategic appointments both in the public and private sector. These efforts will ensure that our association will become more viable and sustainable, thereby improving the welfare of our members and growth of our alma mater. Furthermore, necessary discussions will be held on this year on the viability and sustainability of welfare programs such as life and health insurance programs for our dear members of this association. Finally, as I end my report, thank you all for your presence for this AGM. Despite the limitations imposed by the Zoom platform, I must express my sincere appreciation to Chairman and members of the Board of Trustees, members of the National Executive Committee, Chairman of the chairpersons, and members of various chapters executive committees, our dear members in diaspora for their support to the association, the set reps for their support and guidance in the activities of the various seats, and indeed all members of the association for their support to the association Furthermore, a sincere appreciation goes to the chairman and members of the local organizing committee, constituted by the Port Harcourt chapter for their efforts in organizing this AGM, despite the constraints posed by the COVID-19 pandemic and prevailing security challenges being experienced across the country. Finally, I hereby commiserate all members of the association who lost their family members, friends, and associates during the period of this pandemic. May Almighty God grant support to all of us. Please let us all stay safe and be resolute in fighting this pandemic. God bless us.
Can I please see the people of Zoom clap their hands? You seem to all be looking at us. Please clap or...
Better. Recording is just starting now.
Yes.
That's okay. We are hearing you.
No, they want to.
No, just
They want to touch your system, so I'm not familiar with it. So just... Okay. I can unmute now and continue.
yeah.
I want to start. Okay. Thank you very much all for the various inputs. We have taken note of all the corrections that need to be made, both typographical errors, spelling mistakes. These are being affected. And on that note, I want to call quickly for a motion to adopt the minutes of last meeting so that we can proceed further with this AGM. Luckily, we have some members who were present during the last AGM who are here. So in order to waste time going online to look for people to adopt the motion, I'll call within this audience here for people who want to move for the adoption of the minutes of last meeting. Thank you. Move it.
Name is Ayo Joseph, class of 77. I was at the last AGM in Abuja, and I would like to move, second the motion. Have you moved? Oh, I would like to move the motion that the minutes of the last AGM as corrected be accepted for our records. Thank you.
Were you there, sir?
I was there.
You have to move a second.
Okay. I'm Matubolaji Tedi. I was there last year too, and I seconded the motion.
We have the motion moved and seconded. I will give this to the president to run it up.
Okay. Okay. The minutes of last meeting has been adopted, and we'll make a small deviation of the program, straight to go to matters arising before we go to the secretariat reports.
President, I think we could also adopt your own report as well. That's the normal procedure. You're giving your report. I think we should just adopt it by reference.
Okay, sorry. So we will move for the adoption of my report.
My name is Ifeanyi Okachu, set of 1980. I want to move for the adoption of the president's report as presented to this AGM. So I hereby move. Thank you.
Who's not in the committee? I want somebody that's not in the committee, sir.
I'm Carol Udewe. I want to second the moving for adoption. I'm seconding it. I'm on set of 82.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. The motion has been moved and seconded for the president's speech. And I believe that is registered as adopted. Going on with the minutes, we will move on to, we have seen the chapters report and the set report. We have them online. They don't need to be adopted. It's basically for your information. So we're just going to move ahead and call on the treasurer to give us a financial report. So ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Treasurer, are you ready for us?
Yes, sir.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'll pass over to the treasurer to give us his report.
Good morning once more. I am Papa Monite, the current treasurer for the ESCO. I believe before now, a copy of the auditor's report has been circulated to everyone for viewing and for your perusal. In case you have any questions later, you can actually put it in the chat page. For the purpose of this presentation, I will focus on the abridged version of the audited account document prepared by our auditors, Aderemi, Fagbile and Co., which has been circulated on all available Federal Government College Ilorin WhatsApp chat room before now. In summary, the total receipt for the year 2020 was 5,506,636 naira, while total expenditure for the same year was 2,268,950 naira. As an addendum to the auditor's report of the year 2020, I hereby present an update of the association's income and expenditure from the 1st of January to the 4th of June of the current year 2021. We have so far received a sum of 2,650,000 naira as income from said dues only. Breakdown as follows. 1977 set, 500,000. 1978 sets, 500,000. 1979 sets, 500,000. 1982 sets, 400,000. 1985 sets, 200,000. 1986 sets, 400,000. And 1995 sets, 150,000 naira. As expenditure so far, from inception of the present ESCO, we have disbursed a total of 213,000 naira for the following items. One, payment for 2021 annual social dues, 100,000 naira. Payment for 2020 audited reports, which you all have in your possession, 100,000 naira. Running expenses for National Secretariat, 13,000 naira. By this, it is evident a minute fraction of sets are financially committed to this exercise. There is need for set reps to encourage their classmates to emulate the good gesture of financially up-to-date sets as membership due payments further consolidate and reflect commitment to our alma mater. It is a known fact that between the Pioneer set and the 2016 set as reflected in the set due schedule, we have at least 60 sets represented, but we have so far received payment from a minute number of 7 sets, less than 20% compliance level. The implication of this is that the National Association is grossly underfunded. Kindly note, collection of dues is not for the sole purpose of hosting AGMs alone. It is one of the sources of funding the association as provided by Preamble 9.2 of our association's constitution. More so, there is need to review the present due allocation structure to accommodate new sets. Secondly, the Pioneer set and a few of their younger sets are retired from active service or about to. In view of this fact, the current set payment template is termed obsolete and needs to be replaced or reviewed. We thereby use this medium to propose a uniform rate structure of 300,000 naira across board. We also have to explore other investment opportunities as a means of generating funds for the association, with particular reference to Preamble 9.2 sub number 5 of our association's constitution. I would like to inform you also that as of today, 5th of June, we have a cash balance of 5,556,624 naira 66 kobo in our bank account. Thank you as we await your input on the above request for set structure allocation amendment. God bless you all and have a nice day.
Thank you so much, Papa Monitor. I think that is cool. As we keep saying, please post your queries, your observation, comments, etc. on this chat page. In a few minutes' time, we'll look at all of them, collect them, and discuss them under the AOP. Thank you so much. Thank you very much for your presence so far. We appreciate you and we appreciate your patience to the technical glitches on the audio system. I think going forward, we learn to use this better and just talk directly into the computer instead of trying to use the audio system. Thank you so much. We've had time to go through what has been happening in the past 1 year. So now I'm moving to the next item of the program, which is matters arising from the minutes and the various reports as presented. Mr. President, I thought, just a minute. I thought I've done that before.
I'll be on mute.
Yeah, I'm on mute. I thought we have done that. I wish to verify that.
We have to discuss matters arising from it. We have to discuss it.
Sorry for that. Move on to the next item. The theme of this AGM is City 2021. It has been circulated and we have it on our video clip and on all the brochures posted and circulated. Unfortunately, we only gave the paper copies to those present and a bit of those present and a bit of those. We'll send some copies to the chapters to distribute among themselves. But I doubt if it's going to be for everybody because it was limited since we're doing this mainly online. But what we have, I'm going to circulate it electronically so you can get it through the secretariat for you to have an e-copy of it. Without much ado, I'll move over to the president to discuss matters arising from the minutes and various reports. Mr. President, sir.
Thank you all. Thank you all for your patience during the period we had some hitches, especially with the audio quality. I do hope with this new method we are using, we will have overcome those challenges. Please, if we still have any challenges, let us know so that we can improve on the quality of presentations during this AGM. We're now on matters arising from the last AGM. We have gone through the various reports. All actions that were required of us, having gone through it, there is no matter arising from the last AGM. From our own secretarial point of view, the only major item that was omitted during the last AGM that caused call for concern was elections were not held for ex-official members for this present ESCO. It was a major omission, though it was not reflected in the minutes. The election did not take place. Present ESCO as constituted does not have ex-official members. However, we decided to move on, and I just want to use this platform to let us take note seriously for the 2022 AGM. Now, this omission should not happen, so that we don't have an ESCO without ex-official members. The trust of this AGM.
Sorry, Mr. President, I think, I'm not sure, but by the Constitution, I think it's the immediate past president that formed the ex-official. You may check, I may be wrong.
I think part of it, you're right. I think one of them should be the immediate past president.
One of them immediate past president.
He was not even around. The issue was that the man was not around. He was not around for the meeting that day. So, and when we were being sworn in, they were not sworn in along with the ESCO. So that because everybody was overwhelmed, I think maybe people were tired and hungry, and everybody just disappeared and omitted that serial.
So are you calling that we let
No. I'm trying to call that the mistake has been made. Because even if we elect anybody now, we just have barely 6 months to the next AGM, which is February next year. Now we should rather overlook it and then take note of it properly in the 2022 AGM. That's my submission, actually. The observation. So I think we should just take note of it. Right. So we'll take note of the various charts coming in, and it will also be incorporated in the report for this 2021 AGM. Having done that, I think we can move on to the next agenda item. so that we don't lose track of the main focus of this AGM, which will be to actually look at issues of finance and issues relating to the 50th anniversary, which we expect a lot of fireworks from. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. President, for your great insight and leadership into this. We're seeing your messages, just to let you know. I have a message from Olushola Ephraim. We'll collect all of them and discuss them at the AOP. So please keep them coming. Please keep them coming. Keep them coming. The next item will be the discussion about the 50th anniversary of our alma mater, which is coming up in 2023. Considerations of possible projects for the school as part of our commemorative engagement. That also will be taken by the president again. So, Mr. President, sir, if you're ready, we'll be talking about the 50th anniversary of the school.
Before that, please, before that, one of the reports, the auditors, sorry, our financial secretary, said that there was a consideration in respect of the tax dues that we are thinking of, reviewing it, and he gave a suggestion that it should be 300 back. Are we adopting it? Is it for discussion?
It's a proposal we made.
All right. Okay.
So now it's left for them to decide on come up with other available options. With respect to amount, they might say it's too low or it's too high.
All right.
So what we are proposing is a uniform amount across board
Of 300,000 naira for every set, regardless of where you left the school.
Yes.
Okay.
Because the reason why we are doing this is that the present set dues allotment template actually does not even accommodate sets beyond 2016 at the moment. And I think when that one came into existence, now it has outlived its usefulness. For one, I actually made a point that the pioneer sets, right, majority of them are now retired or retiring. So I do not expect retirees to pay more than those who make up a large chunk of the current workforce. So, in view of that was that uniform sum. Now, assuming 2017 sets, we ought to have taken them into the fold now, and they are capable of paying, but we do not have anything in place to accommodate them. So if we have a uniform flat rate, even the chef that is leaving today, if they have 100,000 or if they can pay 300,000 naira, then it's okay. So I think it's a proposal, and we're waiting for the House to adopt or to propose, something else that will suffice and bridge this gap.
I agree with you with the flat rate of 300,000 for every set, but I would like to ask that
My name is Tetenta, 78 set Charity House. We should make provisions for youth corpers. So we could make it 6 sets instead of 5 sets because youth corpers are barely getting on their feet.
Sorry, sir. I have the BOT chairman have suddenly said something. Can I just call on him to unmute and say it himself?
I'm going to let him talk to us.
Sir, can you just unmute and go live with your comments, sir? BOT chairman.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you, sir.
Thank you very much. My name is Anthony Oshunlaja. I'm happiest to be at this meeting. And I thank God that all of us are able to attend. I think based on experience, I should come in here on this issue of dues. I strongly advise that no dues should be reduced. If the pioneer set, of which I'm a member, has not complained to anybody about dues, the dues should be left at 500,000. It is not being paid by an individual. It's being paid by the set. And we already have very poor compliance, as you can see. Only about 5, 6, 7, 8 sets pay at any time. Therefore, it will be self-defeating to reduce your sources of income, is what I think. If there are any sets that dues have not been assigned to, you can assign at this meeting. If you also feel that it makes sense to reduce the dues for some younger sets, yes, it can be reduced. But I feel strongly that 77, 78, 79 sets, as difficult as it is for them, they are the ones who always pay. And they are the ones that we can always call on their conscience and their commitment to pay. To reduce their dues will be counterproductive. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chairman BOT. The idea of this reduction actually came from some of those especially comments from 78 set, and because of the issue of demography and the aging, of the earlier sets, because they feel they are retired or they are getting to retirement age, their source of income is getting reduced. Their numbers actually in those sets too are getting fewer. And maybe we just pray to God for long life. The next few years, their numbers are likely to be more depleted. Although the rule of long life does not follow set, but we want to believe that in some years to come, maybe for now we want to appeal to the conscience of everybody on the need to start sensitizing the younger generations that this template may not be sustainable in some years to come. And the younger generation too should have a higher sense of commitment that they need to pay more, because the older people cannot be paid. Although in African culture, the older ones take care of the younger ones. But it gets to an age where the younger ones are expected to take care of the older people. And as the older sets get older, their ability to raise income starts to reduce. And the larger force of people who are working or who are supposed to be active working age are usually between the ages of 30 to maybe from 35 to about 45 or 50. They're the most active working class within our country. In other countries in the world, people that are 60 are just beginning to enter their prime. But in our own situation, by the time you are 55, you're 60, you're already retired, you don't have access to income. Or maybe we'll just, for this AGM, we'll try to start flying the idea so that maybe by the next AGM, everybody will be able to give us ideas on the way forward on this issue of sustainable funding for the association, not within the next 2 or 3 years, maybe the next 10 years. Because in the next 10 years, we expect that the older sets, maybe they will be spending more of their money on looking after their health. They don't have money, they are getting old, they need to adjust to their medical. And they may not be the ones to be paying so much, while the younger set that are supposed to be young, having so much energy, will be paying less. I believe some school of thought believe that there has to be a balance. It may not be in this age here particularly, but there's a need for us to fly the kite, see people's reactions, collate it. Then maybe by the next AGM, we'll be able to arrive at a consensus on the appropriate methods of funding that will sustain the association. It's not, I don't also believe that the association should be funded mainly through dues. By now, we should be thinking of, though the Constitution makes allowance for investments, and that is why maybe in the speech too, we try to talk about setting up a committee, or maybe people that can, some of the members that have great ideas on developing financial models that can actually help us to sustain the association. Maybe in the next 20 years, we do a long-term plan. How do we keep the association working for the next 20 years? In the short term, in the medium term, and in the long-term plans. I know it's going to be a session that will generate a lot of interest. People should feel free if you have any contribution in this regard. Please let us know, indicate. But we don't want to waste the whole day. Maybe we'll just give room for 4 or 5 contributions concerning this issue of finance so that we can collate it, put it in our AGM report for 2021. So that by 2022, we'll be able to get a position whereby the issue of dues and other alternative forms of financing for the association can be developed for the future. That is just my thinking, and also for the feelers we are getting from some members of the association who have been sending messages prior before this meeting and also during this meeting. But for now, we will take contributions on this issue, 4 or 5. And we have gotten some people that want to talk on it. We will mute them so that they can talk from their end, and we can collate in our reports. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I can talk.
Thank you, Mr. President. We have the chairman of the LOC that wants to make some comment. I think I will just say he should unmute his phone and talk directly to his phone. I'll move away from you, sir. You want to use the laptop? Okay.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you all, all members keyed into this session. I'm of the opinion we give due consideration to the proposal of the House today about having a uniform due structure across board. Reason being that we've gotten complaints from different people saying that the older sets that are paying more, some of them are nearing retirement, some have retired, and this correspondingly goes with a reduction in income generation and all that. And besides, it's true that if you look at the people, the sets that are complying in terms of payment of dues, they come mainly from the older sets. But how sustainable is this going to be? Again, if you make it uniform, we don't bother ourselves about making adjustments in future. It goes on all through, and everybody knows this is what we are going to pay, and then structure their own contribution along that line. So it makes it uniform, better and easier for everybody to make that contribution. So I'm of the opinion that we give this enough consideration, and just like Mr. President pointed out, they will collate that in the next AGM, we can now adopt it as a way of going forward. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. Mr. President, shall we continue? We have Yetunde, please, you raised up your hand earlier on. Is this something you want to talk about or you want us to keep going? You need to unmute yourself if you want to talk. Hello, Yetunde, can you hear me? If you still want to go ahead and talk, please unmute and talk, or we'll just go on.
I can hear you. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear
Hello.
you now. Your hand was raised. That's why I was calling you.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about the dues, and before Senior Tony said no dues should be reduced, but I just wanted to add my voice. Number one, if some sets are complaining, then we should actually look at what they are complaining about. And I'm class of 83. I think we too were very faithful in paying our dues. But if some sets are complaining, then I think we should have a look at it. I've always said, as a former treasurer, that the junior sets have numbers advantage. While we are like 100, 120, 150, they are like 300, 400, 500 in a set. And if you look at how much they're paying per annum, if you actually appropriate it, some of them are like 200 naira per annum, 500 naira per annum. And I think that should actually be an advantage for them. If the senior sets are complaining, then we should look at it. I don't know, but it might not be immediate, but it is something to be considered. I just wanted to add the voice that the juniors might be whatever, but if you prorate what they are contributing, I think it is far below the older sets because they have numbers advantage. They have 300 upwards, I think, in terms of numbers. That is just my own addition to it. Thank you. This is Yetunde Olorunleke Olowofoyefuku, class of 1983.
I know that person. Find out if anybody wants to talk.
I see a comment.
It's just ask for 2
I
minutes.
see a comment.
Somebody's.
I see a comment here from Remy Abbas. So if you just want to go ahead and say what you want to say, Remy Abbas, you need to unmute yourself to talk.
Is any of your phones on?
Hello, Remy Abbas. If you are going to talk, please unmute yourself. Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, I wasn't. Good morning. I've already made the point. If the issue is that the newer sets are not contributing, I'm not sure why there's so much focus on the pioneer sets. If the pioneer sets themselves are already contributing and you've got all of these sets that you tell us are not contributing, why isn't that a bigger issue? That's all I want to ask.
All right, thank you so much. There's somebody echoing there. It's off.
Is anybody logged on?
Senior Jumai, I have your hand raised up. You want to say something? Please unmute and go ahead.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for this AGM. I just want to say that with what the chairman, the LOC had said, because of the response that we're having from the junior sets and the other ones, and the will to continue because of the older sets. For now, I want to support that. It's okay. I would suggest that we make a flat due. That way, we'll bring in more people, and maybe years later, we can start to review. That's my suggestion, because the junior ones are also, they have the will to want to join now. Are we encouraging them? Are we carrying them along? You know, by reducing the dues, yes, let's lower them in, let's encourage them to come. That's just mine. I'm Jumai, class of 1980. Thank you.
And also former president. Okay, gentlemen, I have Ibrahim Salah. Your hand is raised up. If you want to say something, please unmute and go ahead.
Thank you, my colleagues. My name is Dr. Ibrahim Salah, calling you for joining the meeting from Florida. Can you all hear me?
Hello. Yeah, we can hear you. Go ahead. Please mute yourself.
I just want to make a suggestion on this discussion about financing and raising of funds. I would like to suggest that the House set up a committee to look into it, have a discussion, get members' input in that discussion, and come up with a decision on what our contribution, whether it is per set or individuals, or as you get, as I said, gets older, their amount of contribution has to start coming down. And the junior ones, most of them, they graduate from school and may not even have a job for the first, we know what the Nigerian situation is. For the first 2 or 3 years, they may not even have a job. And we expect them to contribute the same amount as those who are already settled down in the system. So my suggestion will be set up a committee, get people's input over through a survey, and come up with a decision that is kind of reasonable in terms of how we contribute as individuals, and also find ways to raise funds, not necessarily through other means other than getting members to always contribute for capital projects. Thank you.
Okay, so I think okay. I understood what you said. You can.
Okay, thank you so much for your comments.
If you have your phone on, please.
The president has confirmed that he's going to be taken on board. I have a hand raised up, Olushola Ephraim. You can unmute and go ahead and speak.
Last person, please.
Good morning. Thank you, Chairman. Good morning, Board of Trustee members, the executive. This is Shola Oluwanuga, 1979 set. I want to speak regarding the matter of contributions on behalf of class of 79 that has always consistently paid up our dues. You can check all the past records, our records are there. But we joined our seniors of 78 set in making the observation that it seems a bit necessary to look at the structure in view of the fact that the president, who of course is in our 78 set predecessors, has already elucidated quite clearly, and I will not repeat. But apart from the foundational issue of rate payment, I also want to comment on the fact that something that is discouraging payment is people are saying, what is being done with the money? See, if we want to raise 50 million to do something in the school, people are eager and willing to give, but they do not think that they want to give so that most of the money is spent on AGM. We in our set believe that people should be encouraged to attend AGM. AGM should be publicized very well by the executive. People should register and pay like we pay for so many AGMs of our professional organizations. Oh, come to Port Harcourt, the Garden City, blah, 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 meet your friends and blah, blah. And let those who are coming register. And that registration should take care of the meeting. While these set monies that we are raising should be used to develop the school. When people see things are going on, projects are going on, they will be encouraged to give. Finally, we think that there also should be some sanctions for sets that don't pay. For example, we think if your set has not paid, somebody from that set should not sit on the executive. If you are running for executive, then go and begin your campaign in your class by telling your set, pay up, because I want to run for this position and my class dues must be paid for anybody in my set to be allowed to run for a position on the executive. These are little things that we feel, and I'm speaking on behalf of 79 states. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, I think we should have taken enough, a lot of input concerning the issue of dues. We have heard from all sides of the, not two sides of the coin, but all sides of the coin. The issue was brought up because people have different opinions on this, and I'm happy we have discussed it. I think what is clear from all discussion is that the present form of template, while it has worked in the past, has some demerits. That means it needs to be fine-tuned. We need to have a template that will definitely need to be reviewed. In reviewing it, we are going to collate all these inputs from different shades of opinions to help us come up with a template that will serve the overall interests of the association in the long run. We will look at, like Dr. Shola has also talked about, the issue of sanctions. Maybe those are things that, again, we may have to look at again in the Constitution. Are there things in the Constitution that talks about what you gain being an active member or just being a passive member? What categories of members do we have? Or is just because you just went to FGC, you are a member? There may be need to look at those things when we get to the discussion on Constitution. The discussion on Constitution, we will not want to make it too long either, but just to, these ideas as a flowing, it enables the ESCO to collate and be able to get all these inputs again, see how we can accommodate different shades of opinions, and I'm sure at the end of the day, all of us will be winners in the stake. Some people also talked about the issue of numbers. I remember in our set, some sets now, one set alone was equivalent to the whole of us who were in FGC for 4 or 5 years. When we were in FGC, I think set 1, 77, 78, 79, none of the sets were up to 100 in number. None. So you discover one set alone was virtually the whole of the students for 5 years. So those are things that also need to be considered in determining dues, what to be paid. We look at demography, earning power, all those things. And by the time we are looking at setting up a committee, especially by the time we start discussing about the 50th anniversary, maybe these are some of the things that committee will be able to help us come up with ideas, and we'll be able to, by next year, we'll be able to get the way forward. Definitely, we cannot sweep these matters under the carpet and believe that all is well. Thank you very much for your contributions. We'll move on to the next.
Let me just commend the EXCO for very prudent use of the association funds. And like to comment that your total amount is 213. Sorry, the name again is Ayo Joseph. I would like to commend the EXCO for very prudent utilization of the association funds. In the last year, you have spent only 213,000, which is highly commendable. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Senior Ayo Joseph. Olu Shola Ephraim, if you are okay, you can take your hand down. We have addressed your comment so that
last person,
we're finished. I'm just asking her to take her hand down. Thank you so much, everybody. This has been some good discussion. Without much ado, we're going to, the next item is the discussion about the 50th anniversary. I think we should just continue with that discussion. I'll give the president to kick off the discussion of the 50th anniversary and our projects for the school as part of the commemorative engagement. Mr. President, sir. Sorry, just before I go, I will recognize the presence of Dr. Prince Willow Bailey, who have just who have just come in to join us is a past member of the BOT. Dr. Prince, you're welcome, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm sorry I came. Yes, I'm sorry I came late. I want to welcome our members from Abuja. I can see them. Shinayo, my mate, Brigadier Commander Matthew Taidi, and our president, I will have mentioned him first. You're all welcome to Port Harcourt. I hosted my church group meeting this morning. That's why I came late. I'm sorry about that. So thank you for everything you've been doing. In fact, as I was coming, I was listening to the Zoom. So I didn't miss so much. My pleasure. Huh?
Okay, what a blessing.
Yes, I did.
All right, we'll just go ahead, Mr. President, to start the discussion on the 15th anniversary. And don't forget to keep your comments coming. We're going to look at them and discuss them about the and some interesting comments already.
Okay, we keep on awaiting comments through the chat. We are still going to collate them as we promised in the report for 2021. It's going to be very comprehensive. A lot of issues are coming up, but we have to go to the next agenda item, which is discussions about the 50th anniversary of our school. As a rider, I would just want all of us to take note that the school came into being on the 15th of February, 1973. So please, we should all take note there has been a lot of confusion as to the exact date, but henceforth, we should all take note that it is 15th of February, 1973 and no other date. And if that is the case, that means 15th of February, 2023, the school will be 50 years old. 50 years is a great milestone in the life of our institution. The last time there was any other major milestone was in 2013, which was the 40th anniversary. But the 50th anniversary is supposed to be a greater milestone than the 40th anniversary. And that means a lot of work needs to be done. But the good thing is that we already have an experience from 2013. So what I believe in is that what we need to do is to improve on what was done in 2013 and come up with something better in 2023. One, not only for members of the association, but to leave a legacy for the younger ones. And it's always be an opportunity to mentor the younger ones who will probably be alive when the school will be 100 years old. I doubt whether many of us this side will be around that time. However, we need to look at the 50th anniversary. What is the 50th anniversary? What size and shape do you want it to be? In looking at this 50th anniversary too, a lot of things must come into our mind. Yes, people talk about commemorative projects. It must be projects that we can finance, and it must be delivered before that date. There are no projects that has to be delivered after 15th of February 2023. We don't have time. I say again, for emphasis, we don't have time. That means we look at something we can do between now and 2023. And we must be able to do that project, we must finish that project not on the 15th of February 2023. We must be able to finish it at least 2 or 3 months before 2023. In looking at these projects too, we must look at a project that has bearing to the life of the students there, and even us. It's something we should be able to do that. Even if we visit the school, we should be able to benefit from it, directly or indirectly. So I thought of a lot of things in my mind, but I feel it's better all of us get sensitized that one, this is going to come up. To do that, I think at the end of the day, we will need to have a committee that will drive it. The ESCO is not shy of its responsibility. We will get a committee, we will work both on the scene and behind the scene to get a committee constituted. But it is necessary for all members to be aware that this is coming up, so that it will not be a case that, oh, we didn't know that the school will be 50 years old. I just had it a week before the 50th anniversary. Please, I'm going to leave the stage very, very open at this stage for members. Maybe we'll take 4 or 5 suggestions from members to tell us how they think we should celebrate it. What format should it be? What size? What is the shape? And in doing all these things, we must take note that we have timelines within which we can do that. We must know that finance will be involved. How we are still talking about how to pay set dues. Now we are having the 50th anniversary, which involves a lot of financial commitments, not only by those who have been paying normally. That means we have to look for additional source of finance to get the 50th anniversary achieved. So we give room for four or five people again. Let's hear from the other side. What are your feelings? How do you think it can be done? How can it be done better than what was done in 2013? What lessons did we learn in 2013 that so that we don't repeat, if there were mistakes or anything, we don't repeat the same thing. And most important thing, coming up with a very grand celebration of the 50th anniversary. So on that note, I want to leave leave the screen and call for suggestions or contributions from the General House. Thank you, MC. Please watch out for comments and those who indicate to talk about the 50th anniversary. Thank you.
Somebody just made a comment that audio has dropped. Please confirm that you can hear us now.
It's okay.
The sound is okay. Yeah, thank you so much. I have something very interesting. I just want to indulge everybody. Dr. Priestley, just by our introduction to you, somebody has said you should make a voluntary donation of 2.5 million.
And someone seconded.
And it was seconded. So that's a good one. We'll leave it to. This is actually from the beauty chairman. It's from the beauty chairman, so.
It's approved.
All right, gentlemen, can I see any, ladies and gentlemen, sorry, can I see any hands up to talk about the 50th anniversary preparation and commemorative projects? I'm not seeing any hands up. I don't know why they were so shy. Olushola, I see your hand up. If it's a new one, please go ahead and talk, or if it's the old one, you can please take it down. You need to unmute yourself, please. Oh, sorry, we have the beauty chairman who has just raised his hand up. If you can please, go ahead, sir.
Can you hear me, please?
Yes, you can hear me.
Hello.
I can hear you.
Okay, thank you. Honestly speaking, considering the time constraints at this meeting, I believe that the executive quite rightly is asking for suggestions from us. But the onus and the responsibility is still with the exco to come up, even if there are steering points and ideas of what they think we should be doing. With this Zoom format, I'm not sure that we can effectively discuss this matter here. Maybe the exco should go back rather than bringing the matter here and discuss, collate, request ideas, and then present to us in any other formats through the branches, through whatever, since you can't come to this AGM again for another year. However, my suggestion, which is also what has probably been discussed before this meeting, is that a broad-based committee should be set up. This committee, maybe 20, 30 people, with subcommittees, finance, mobilization, stuff like that. What is most important is to have a main committee, and we should find somebody to steer that committee. Somebody who is who cuts across the various sets, who is known by many people, who has mitigated commitment to such a monumental task, as far as I'm concerned. And once we have people like that, 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 people, we can expand the idea. We can collate these things we are saying. What do we want to do? What are we able to do? Let us be reasonable. We don't raise a lot of money. How do we raise money? And because I have had a little more time to think about it, I'd like to suggest straight away that Chukwuemeka should head this committee. And maybe here, maybe later, maybe wherever, we can add more people to this committee. It should cut across the sets. It should start from even the A-level sets, because you must remember we have always had A-levels from 1973. It should be all inclusive. After that, maybe every 3 sets should, at least every 3, every 5, every 7, every set, maybe, should have a representative on that committee. The more I think about it, I think this is what we should try to achieve at this meeting, rather than discussing the precise items that will be by this committee. This is my humble submission. Thank you.
Okay. Let me just quickly respond to the chairman of the BOT. Thank you very much, Chairman BOT, for your wise and counsel and advice. That's why the BOT is always there for us all to see it from the point of elders, to see it the other way. Be that as it may, I want to acknowledge all the suggestions the chairman BOT has made, because this committee has to start work in earnest. Before we are coming for 2022 AGM, the committee must have done more than 50 to 60% of the work. That means the ESCO has advised by the chairman BOT. We also go back to our drawing boards. The ESCO is fully, I've just based on site consultations. We are fully in support, or we agree that a tested veteran like Sir Chukwuemeka, who has already been. No, I'm talking. Sir Chukwuemeka has already been suggested to be chairman of the committee of think tanks that will drive the 50th anniversary. The ESCO has no objection. We'll meet within ourselves. We'll start for members also from the ESCO to join him. We'll also look at this distribution so that this ESCO, the committee will cut across all sets. We'll look at a situation whereby maybe 2 or 3 sets will come up with not only people that are volunteer, but people who are willing, able, ready, and capable. Those are the kind of people we need. So we'll scatter around the members of the ESCO, so that in no short time, I don't want to announce or state the time within which the committee will be stated, will be formed. but in no short distance time, we'll be able to relate back to the General House actions being taken to ensure that we have a successful 50th anniversary celebration. We have been seeing some comments running in and out. We decided to also bring it out because we felt this was an avenue to sensitize people, everybody to be aware of this great milestone. And we'll seize this opportunity to elicit the cooperation of all members of the association towards achieving a successful 50th anniversary celebration. It's a collective joy for all of us. We pray to Almighty God to keep us alive, to witness that day and beyond that day. We also will get working. But before I close this agenda item, I want to leave the floor open for contributions for, I can see, especially, I don't want to, those who want to make it will give room for 3 or 4 people, especially Sachuk, who are also saying it seems he wants to make some comments. Olushola, we are seeing you. The MC will coordinate that. We'll just take 4 or 5 contributions so that we don't bank too much on that agenda item. Thank you.
Thanks. I have not seen Shola anymore. So, Senior Chooks, if you're mute, I can go ahead and make a contribution, sir.
Good afternoon. I'm the chairman of the BOT. Good afternoon, the national president and my seniors, my fellow students. It's a pleasure to be here with you on this our annual general meeting. Yes, our 50th anniversary is coming, and we have a lot of work to do. But please, with all apologies, I want to step down from that position for a lot of reasons. I will not be able to go through all the rigors for health reasons. So I want to step down, please. I hope you'll be able to accept my apology. But I will work in the background, but I don't want to chair the committee because it's quite an enormous task. And 2 years is already within the corner. So it's not something that I can actually cope effectively with. So please, Senior Tony, my apologies. My national president, please, my apologies. I want to step down from that nomination. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Senior Chooks. We've gotten your comment, suggestion, and your request. I'm sure the president will note on it and act as we go on. We have Olushola Ephraim. Can you please go ahead with your comments and discussion?
Please take note. Let me just use myself.
Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yes, Olushola Oluwanuga, 79 sets again. First of all, I had lowered my hand when I saw that my brother, Sachuk Sanagobu, had been nominated to chair. So I thought, oh, I will be telling him everything I want to say. But now that this new development has happened, that he's unable to chair it, I would just say that I agree that we cannot conclude this conversation here. So yes, something should be set up. But I want to say that I want to suggest to the executive to please quickly set up a search committee for who will chair this. And we also need to be sure that it is not only the person who will chair it that will bear the burden. The person who will chair it has to be very ably supported. has to be very ably supported by other people. So to that extent, I would say that the buck is back in the court of the executive. You have to search for that committee tactically now, and you have to set it up. But I just also want to add that that celebration should not only be one of a project and erecting structure in the school, it should also be a celebration of the people who made the school. We need to fundamentally bear that in mind right now too, that we had foundation students, we had foundation staff who made the school. We have only less than 2 years. We have to find them all. And we have to find a way of recognizing them all at different levels, but they should all be recognized. And that is also time consuming. So that's just also the little thing I wanted to say. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. We're taking note on that. I also stand corrected, Senior Lushola, or should I say Professor Lushola Ephraim. I'm so sorry. I stand corrected. Doctor, I'm so sorry. I stand corrected. Senior Obele wants to make a comment, so I will just pass it back to him.
Okay, let me properly introduce myself again, because I didn't do that the first time. My name is Prince Phil Obele, 78 set, and it's about this membership of the 50th anniversary organizing committee. I think we should look inwards toward the younger ones. Okay, the younger ones, the older ones can support them. Because if we continue to use the older ones for everything, for most of the things we do, then we'll be inadvertently disenfranchising the younger ones. So I think we should look at the younger ones. And in looking at the younger ones, we expect that those who can see around us, who are the younger ones too, can look at people who are younger and vibrant. The older ones can support them, but I'm looking at a situation where we use the younger ones to do something so we can see what they can do. Because if we continue to use the older ones, then what is the purpose of having the younger ones? So that is what I think we should do. And in also doing that, I will leave it for the committee, because we believe that some of the sets will want to do something on the toward the some developmental projects in the school. But I will leave all that for the committee. But I think we should look at the younger ones. That is my suggestion from the committee.
Thank you, Senior Princely. I can't see any hands up, so we'll move over to our next item, if that's okay with anybody. Just a minute, the president wants to make some speech.
Thank you, MC. I'm not actually making a speech. It's just for us to round up this agenda item. You can see that the agenda items, we are not going to follow it rigidly. It's just to guide us on the conduct of the meeting. After I make my comments on this, we'll run some slides so that the slides will just contain, if the slides have not been run before, please tell the technical crew. Wait, just if the slides have not been run before, first of all, the first slide that should be run should be the Secretariat report. If it has not been run, they should run it. After the Secretariat report, we should not take more than 2 minutes. We should run the slide on the brief on life assurance. After we run that, then we'll now go, we'll run slides containing the chapter and set reports. We'll run some slides, 3 or 4 slides to acknowledge those who advertise in the magazine. There's a commemorative magazine for this AGM. The magazine will be launched online. Though we have some few hard copies, with the LOC. These copies are very few because it's not the normal AGM we are having. We only made limited copies. It will be distributed to some very few members, but everybody will have an opportunity to access it online. First of all, I must thank the chairman of the BOT for his wise advice. I must acknowledge the contribution of my brother, Sir Chooks, who has declined for reasons that should not, but because of his passion for the association, he has declined. I will thank you very much and appreciate your service at all times to the association, especially your passion. The ESCO will go back, we'll look at how we constitute the membership of this committee. We are taking note of the necessity to involve the younger generation. I also support that. I'm one of the people that believes a lot that the younger ones should drive this association, while we, the other ones, will be there more as advisors. They can come back to meet us to tap on our wealth of experience. We'll always be there for them. So we need this that way too. They'll be able to come out of their cocoon, and we'll be shocked that some of them have so many ideas, and maybe they feel that our presence is not even allowing them to bring out their best. So please, we are not the older ones from FGCI, are not the traditional African elders who don't die, who don't resign, who don't retire or resign. They stay in office till they die. We don't belong to those groups. So we will, as much as possible, bring in the membership to be among a lot of the membership will be drawn across the younger set. But as I said, we will look for people who are willing, able, ready, and capable. It's just not just people to be to drive the most people that have those qualities. We will have to do a lot. The set reps have to help us a lot because they have the database. We want people that also, apart from that, people that have the financial muscle, the physical strength, wide range of connection, people that are they are bridge builders. We don't want people that are just champions in their local environment, people that should be able to talk across all over the country, because we want to bring a renowned personality to come and be our guests, not just a nationalist. These people like that, so people that can communicate, that can bring those class of people. That's what we'll be looking at. The ESCO will go back. We'll go back. It's our responsibility to draw up this committee. We'll consult widely, and no long time. We'll brief the entire house. It's going to be, that's our major focus for the next. In fact, the ESCO is going to concentrate on this issue a lot before the next AGM. By the time we are coming for the next AGM, the committee that will be doing that will be giving us a brief on how far they have gone. That is the aim. You should be able to tell us what they have done, what is left undone, those that have not been done, when will it be achieved? We are looking at anything that concerns the 50th anniversary, anything we want to do by December 2022. November, it should be all over. So that committee barely has 1 year, not only to be constituted, but to complete its work. So it's a big challenge. So for those online, please, if you are also interested in serving, you can get in touch with the ESCO. Can get in touch to me privately. And you can use the various platforms that are available to signify your interest. My numbers are available on all the platforms. And also, you can also reach the General Secretary, who is a member of all platforms, Mr. Engineer Adewale Yusuf. We will circulate some numbers that will be circulated for people to start talking to within the next 1 or 2 weeks. And after then, we should be able to set up the Central Planning Committee and the other committees and the committee of advisors. Maybe we call them Elders Council or advisors. Maybe we'll end up having a standing committee this committee can always refer to in case they run into difficulties, so that they don't need. We want this committee to be very independent, so that they don't come up every second they are running to the ESCO for advice, but people that have a lot of experience to drive this to a logical conclusion. Luckily, Sir Chooks is always available. He has pledged his willingness to assist this committee that will be set up whenever they come to him. I want to thank you very much. I also want to thank the chairman of BOT for his wise counsel and the way he has been able to guide us on how to achieve this agenda item. That is the 50th anniversary celebration of the school. Having said that, I think we can close that agenda item. We'll give. Okay, before I finish, immediately I finish this agenda item, I'll call on the VP who wants to make say something. No, we must not be seen that we are not gender compliant. The men have been talking since, so we want her to talk so that she can give us the feminine idea of things we are not seeing. Thank you very much, VP. Please put this on our face so that remove this. Remove the slides first. We are still on that. Move the slides. Okay. Yeah,
good afternoon, everyone. Permission from the president. He doesn't know this, but I've been receiving texts from ESCO members, and they are compelling me to tell the House to thank him. You can see our expense is very low because he has been funding a lot of it from his pocket. He has traveled to all the chapters, stays in hotel, does everything from his pocket. And when we need some expenses, we tell him, Zoom meeting, whatever we request for, we fund it. I personally kept arguing because I'm an ex-banker. So I kept telling him it's not okay. And I know he will not be happy and informing everyone. So, Mr. President, we thank you.
I will take a 5-minute.
Yes.
15-minute break.
Because ESCO members, they've been sending me texts.
Okay. 12:15.
That's all right.
Okay, thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you very much, VP, for your contribution. It's always a pleasure to serve the association, not only as president, but at any time. It's a pleasure. We will just, I want to request us, we've been on the meeting for about 2 hours, and I know it's been very long. The meeting is supposed to end by 1. We want to keep to the time as much as possible. That is why we started by 10. Despite the hitches, we don't believe in meetings. We are not taught that way when we were in school. Keep to time. We also make sure we drive this meeting and try to end it by 1 as planned. But we think it's necessary to have us to have a 10-minute break. The meeting, the aim of this break is to enable us, people have a leg stretch, especially for those of us seated here who are not in the comfort of our homes. We would like to take a 5 to 10 minutes leg stretch. During this period, the technical crew will be streaming some slides. The technical crew, please take note of the order of the slides. Technical crew, take note of the order of slides. People are not listening to me. Please. The first slide that should come up is the set rep reports. And when you are streaming the slides, please, it's not for you to flip it. You must take it so that people are able to read it. It's not for you to just show it as if it's one. You do that, set rep reports first. After you have done that, you bring the chapters reports. Am I clear? After you have done that, the next report or the last report you will show on slide will be the brief on the insurance program, so that you can show it. Anybody that has anything, by the time we come back for 10 minutes next stretch, we're able to do that. Then you can now go and go to AOB.
When we're coming back, tell them 12:35.
So the time now is 12:21. We will reconvene back by 12:35
Nigerian time, especially for those of us. GMT plus 1.
It's okay. You said it.
12:35.
You said it. It's okay.
12:35 will reconvene.
No, we don't know the meaning of your Nigerian time. The real time.
The real time here, GMT plus 1. GMT plus 1.
16 minutes from now.
So we just give 15 minutes.
Thank you.
So please, council shows advance 10-15 minutes.
My wire.
This
Everybody, welcome very much back to the 10th anniversary of our reunion and 2021 annual general meeting. I hope you all had your rest. I'm getting some echo. Can you switch on something over there?
Call your people.
So thank you so much. We'll just talk about the mic.
To round up.
All right, welcome back. We are just going to do a quick roundup. We just have about less than 20 minutes left on our scheduled time. I want to keep the time as much as possible. So next, I'm sure during the break we saw the, yeah, we're back on it. I'm sure during the last 10-15 minutes we saw the brief on the life insurance scheme. Please send me your comments. We'll take it as we keep going. Right now, we're going to talk on the Constitution amendment and the arrangement for the next week. The president will take both of them at once. So he will just talk about it. I will keep going. And after that, we'll just talk about the chairman LOC will talk on any other business and some of your text. And then we'll go to slot for free speech. So we'll be very, very precise and fast on this. Thank you so much, Mr. President.
Forget about that slide. Don't run that slide. I'm not going to use the slide. So off that slide. Okay? Yeah, right. The slide, so we'll just go online. Forget about the slide. The chairman BOT, I want to stand and rest on the existing protocol. The MC has already drawn our attention to keep the time as much as possible. I'll talk briefly on the constitutional amendments. I've said it before in the course of this meeting that the constitution itself is the life and it provides oxygen to the running of this association. I've also made it very clear that it's a continuous process and we are not going to finish it during this AGM. It's one of the things that we are hoping and praying for, that by the time we are having our 2022 AGM, we should be able to have a constitution that will be ready for adoption. That will be ready for adoption. What is important is to take note that the former constitution that is in place is still in place and will remain guided by that constitution. That was why copies of it were sent out. We are working on a draft constitution, and I said it in my report that the former ESCO presented a draft. That draft has also undergone 3 or 4 reviews, and presently we have a draft which we believe is supposed to be like the final draft, but it's not the final draft. We are trying to use this medium now to tell everybody to please bring up issues that needs to be brought into the constitution, so that by the time we are coming for the 2022 AGM, it is not then people will be talking, they didn't know that the constitution was being reviewed.
We are going to leave a window of another 2 to 3 months to enable all members, wherever you are, to bring issues that you think can be incorporated in the Constitution. A lot of them has already been brought up in the course of this meeting. We are compiling all of them. Those issues are coming to look at whether it is accommodated in the draft copy already with us, so that we can add it and come up with a draft that contains ideas from a wide, from the wider audience of our membership. Some of the issues that came up was like Dr. Shola was talking about, what are incentives for people that pay, what are sanctions, the issue of finance, the issue of dues. These are things that we need to put in the Constitution. And all these ideas are just coming up today. We are going to go back to look at the Constitution again, the draft we have, and then we incorporate it. And once we incorporate it, we circulated then on the various platforms to put in all these ideas. We want to make sure we have a Constitution that will last the test of time. It will not be the final Constitution for the association forever, but should be an improvement over the previous Constitution, and should also be a Constitution that should last and stand the test of time. I haven't talked about the brief on the Constitutional Amendment. I will call on the LOC chairman to give us some of the, we have taken note of a lot of inputs in form of chats. People are asking questions here and there on the chats, and I have told you we'll take this segment briefly for 5 minutes to react under my permission to the various chats that have been given. And they will collate it, the Secretariat today will collate it as part of the final AGM report for 2021, which will again be circulated once the report is ready. Thank you, Chairman LOC.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, my name again is Ifeanyi Okachubi, Chair of LOC AGM 2021. When we had the short break, used the opportunity to cut through the chart, and we picked some comments and questions I would like to address with everybody. First, the observations some of the people made. Dr. Shola Ephraim requested that the minutes be resent to the school WhatsApp chat. And I can assure her that also will be done immediately after this session. And then she also wanted her name to be corrected on the attendance list March 22. That also will be done, madam. The beauty chair, his name was misspelled. We're very sorry, sir. And that is going to be reflected, as corrected. Dr. Shola also talked about what incentives, which of course Mr. President has already handled that. So I don't think there's any point going to that. He has effectively addressed that concern. Another chat here is when the Treasurer was speaking, and that came from Dr. Abidemi. He said when the Treasurer was speaking, that he would like to be sure whether he mentioned sets that pay their dues, and the sets not mentioned, are they aware or perhaps just overlooked the payment? So every set is aware. And I think the association has actually created a lot of platforms where we exchange ideas and pass information on a daily basis. So everybody is aware. And the names of those that paid those sets were mentioned, and even the segment in terms of the chronology where they belong. These are the ancient sets, so to say, in bracket. So we know them, and those are the ones in bracket. In bracket. So they were well mentioned and recognized, and those that didn't pay, everybody's aware. And I think that's why we're talking of more sensitization, and get especially the set reps
to begin to address this matter with their various sets. Another thing we are picking from the chart, Mr. Antonio Chulaja is saying that he strongly advised that said dues should not be reduced. I think we've addressed the issue of dues, and then we'll be running from the various contributions already made. And subsequently, I'm sure we'll come up with the final position at the right time. I think, gentlemen and ladies, that's basically the key things I think we should do to look at from the chart page. If there are other things beyond this meeting, we'll continue to engage. Thank you all, and God bless.
Thank you very much, Rich. Thank you, Sir Ifeanyi, Chairman LOC, for assisting us to handle the contributions and questions being asked from the chat, various chats. We will look at the next issue, which is arrangements for next meeting. I'll quickly take it. We all recall that Port Harcourt was granted the hosting right for 2021. This should have taken place since February. We'll be having a lot of challenges as a result of the COVID protocols and security challenges. And after a lot of deliberations, we felt that Port Harcourt chapter has not finished the work meant for 2021. And already doing a good work. So the next AGM continues to be hosted by Port Harcourt chapter. So can we give a 2022 AGM will be for Port Harcourt chapter. It's not going to any other chapter because for obvious reasons, if we have to even go to another chapter, we have to start all over. The use of logistics, following up with all the decisions you have made here to be starting the work all afresh, and we don't even have time again for the next AGM. We barely have about 6 months to prepare. So, Port chapter, please keep up the good work you are doing, and it is hereby pronounced officially that the 2022 AGM will be in Port Harcourt. Other appropriate information concerning how it will be run. We are praying that the COVID will have reduced, so we'll be able to have a bigger reunion. Of course, with the advent of technology now, a lot of activities in that one will now be streamed, like in previous ones where those people who have records about it are those who only come physically. But we will still encourage physical presence with the hope that the COVID protocols by 2022 will be relaxed. Having said that, we will now be going to the AOB. The AOB session, I will leave it with the MC to conduct. So those who have anything to bring up during the AOB should bring it up. We don't want it to drag for too much. We'll give space for 5 or 6 contributions during the AOB. And therefore, after then, we'll make another allotment for 5 or 6 people to give their free speeches, which will be limited to for 2 minutes. The free speeches should take the format of very brief introduction that should not be more than 15 to 20 seconds. And thereafter, the speeches can be made and could include reminiscence of some things that happened in the past that will be useful for us in the present and of course for the future. Thank you very much. I'll hand over the running of the segment to the MC. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. President. Without much ado, we have barely 20 minutes left. So we'll just take AOP. I can see a hand up. Sorry, let me just put on these glasses. I can see a hand up already for Isaac Tony. So please go ahead, Senior.
Okay, good afternoon, respected seniors and ladies and gentlemen. I am Abdullah Isiaq Twin, 2014 set. Participating in the meeting today, I've actually gained a lot of things, and it's an eye-opener for me to understand what our senior colleagues have been doing to put this association and to move it forward. So my own observation is on the fact that there is need for us to have like a program or an agenda for the younger ones, most especially as it relates to empowerment or job opportunities. When we look at those of us that are young now, we discover that most of the people are out there roaming about the streets without necessarily having something that they are doing. So I would like to call the attention of the executives and other members of the association to that. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Tony. We'll move on. I can't see any hand up. So that means that will round up our AOP. Unless I see a quick hand up. I'm looking at the physical people present. Any hand up?
Online.
Sorry, I've said online. There's no hand up online. Oh, caller. I've just seen caller. Caller, please go ahead. Unmute yourself and go ahead.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. My name is Kola Olani. I'm calling in from Lagos. I'm the secretary of the Lagos chapter. I want to say, I'm facing with the National ESCO, putting together such a wonderful AGM, despite the times we are in. I'm also happy that the next AGM is going to be held in Port Harcourt. I was thinking it was going to come to Lagos. I'm like, let's go back to PH. And I also, and also praying that we put together a very good 50th anniversary.
Well, I can't hear you anymore. Keep talking.
Lost.
Hello, caller. I seem to have lost you. We're not hearing from you. We'll talk to Adebowale, but please go ahead while caller tries to sort himself out. Media, please mute caller.
It's now afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. Mr. President and the ESCO, Adebowale Boda 92 set, also the chairman for the Lagos chapter. Just to thank the ESCO ably led by the national president and the board BOT for convening this annual general meeting in spite of the pandemic that we have gone through in the year. And to also say that in view of the forthcoming 50th Golden Jubilee anniversary of our alma mater, just to suggest that when that committee is being constituted, I know that of course there will be representative from various chapters, but I just wanted to also mention that will help the spread in terms of galvanizing people to ensure a very successful celebration, and God will spare our lives beyond 2023. Thank you very much, Mr. President, and the ESCO and the BOT. Thank you.
All right, Adebowale, thank you so much. I'll move on to. No, I don't see anybody hand online. If you want to talk, you can bring your hand up. But as we go now, I'll give it to Dr. Prince Tulabele to quickly say something.
Okay. I stand by existing protocol. Since we're having the reunion, I want to ask those who are in Ilori, those who live in Ilori, or those who have been in contact with Ilori, You know, there's a spate of kidnapping of school children around the country now. So we don't know what is happening in our alma mater. So we want those who are living around there, who have been going there, to try and sensitize the school authorities. I know they are also aware on ways to mitigate against our school being visited by these, I don't know what they call them here now, bandits or kidnappers and all that. So please, if you have any access to the school, please, it would be nice to remind the school authorities, because those of us out here, we can't do anything about it apart from just sensitizing the school. Okay, so I think that is what I want to just talk about.
Thank you, Senior Principal. I still don't see any hand up, so I'm moving to Senior Ayo Joseph. If you have any other hand. Okay, sorry, Senior Tetenta.
My name is Tetenta. Good afternoon, everybody. I've come to realize one thing, that we don't have anything like a mentorship scheme. Coincidentally, I mentor architects. First, it's difficult to get mentors, and it's also difficult to get people willing to be mentored. And the younger people need to make progress. I've realized also that most of the mistakes I made in life could have been avoided if I had somebody to direct me. I also see it happening again in people's lives. So can we create a mentorship project or a scheme or whatever it is you might call it, so that the older ones can mentor the younger ones? And also sometimes also you need a bigger brother to help you, direct you in places to go, even in these towns, and names that can open doors for you. So I think if we start a project like that or a scheme like that, it will help the school. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Ayo Joseph, 77 said. I also want to speak in line with what Mr. Tetenta has just said. Mentoring and capacity building is very important. I know some federal government colleges, and I would like to refer in particular at this time, if you wouldn't mind, to FGCI Maiduguri. What they have done, and the Port Harcourt chapter is the one that's especially involved in this, is that they have now looked for some of the seniors and attached some of the juniors to them to serve as their mentors. So they meet with them regularly and they talk and they discuss in their homes. So for instance, Abuja branch now, at our regular meetings, we have a session where we get people to speak about their businesses. So some old students have come for those meetings with their products that they probably make or manufacture, introduce them to us for patronage. And we have also tried to look at also talking to us about things that are useful to us in our lives. So I would like to suggest that at the branch level, those who are the younger sets attend these meetings. We get older students who are willing to be mentors, to offer themselves, get younger students to be attached to them as their mentors. So we can say we have team A, team B, or call it whatever name, team A, B, C, D. This is the mentor or the person who is going to be the leader of that group. And these are the younger generation students who will be attached to that person, that they can meet, find times to mentor them in whatever way is possible. That is one way I see. But I would like to encourage the younger students to attend the chapter meetings. Without coming to the chapter meetings, it's difficult to have a database to capture you on, to know who you are, what you do, and then assign you to someone or to join a team that is formed or already existing to be part of the mentees. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Senior Ayo Joseph. I will quickly move on to Femi Odun. Femi Odun, we see your hand up. Can you please unmute and go ahead?
Thank you very much, Senior Chairman of the LOC. I'd just like to reiterate the suggestion that I made in the comments online about process. Sorry, Charity Unity 83 set. I would just like to reiterate the point I made in the online comments about the process of reviewing the Constitution. I had suggested that we should circulate the draft to branches and sets now rather than later, so that we have the benefit of people's comments before we have a final draft. I'd also like to make a point, which may or may not have been reflected in the draft as it is now, having not seen it, which is that as alumni associations approach the sort of age at which our association has reached, where there are grandfathers and grandchildren in the same alumni association, grandmothers and granddaughters, chapters starts to become a bit less relevant than sets. Sets begin to play a much larger role because they are, if you like, a natural aggregation point. The chapter is not really the DNA of an alumni association, it's the set. That's our natural grouping. We may find ourselves in different cities and we move in the course of our lives and our careers, but our sets always remain our sets. And especially when the ages begin to grow as they have done, it becomes important to incorporate the sets a lot more formally into the structure of the alumni association. And this is one of the things that a new constitution must do if it is to help us take the full benefit of our membership. If I look at today's meeting, and as meetings go, this is an excellent turnout. But when we have a set reunion in my set, we get this kind of numbers. So imagine if we could harness that power a bit more effectively in the way we govern the National Association. I think we'll be getting a lot more power. We'll be getting a lot more results. We'll also be getting a lot more commitment to financial and other obligations than we get right now. So without starting to sound like a bad record and repeating myself, let's harness the power of the sets and let's share the draft earlier rather than later. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Just a quick one. You forgot to introduce yourself. If you can just quickly do that in a few seconds.
Oh, I corrected myself and did so, but Femi Edun, 83 set.
All right, thank you so much. Gentlemen, no more hands up. We're going to move on to the slot for the praise speeches. I will give this to the president to manage this set.
Thank you very much, MC. So far, we are getting the tail end of our program. I just felt it's necessary to make one or two from the AOB. It's not a reaction, but just to make an input that the issues raised on the AOB are quite noted. The issue of empowerment for the younger generation is a good idea, and I think that we have to do that a lot using the chapters. The chapters are better placed if you must do empowerment programs. The chapters are better placed to do such programs. Already some chapters are doing that. I see a lot of, I'm a member of some SUSA platforms, programs, activities on entrepreneurship. Remember in my report where I mentioned about an attempt is being made to open up an SUSA platform in Ilori. It's all boiled towards that. And I want to implore us in our various chapters to please come up with programs apart from our normal bonding sessions. We need to, the economic situation is hard. Can do a lot of things through the chapters of that. Regarding security in the school, I've been there about 2 or 3 times in the last one year. In fact, this year I think I've been there twice. Anytime I go to Ilorin on private visits, I take it as a matter of duty to branch in the school. I would say the situation is something to cheer about. It's a national problem. What we can continue to do is we'll continue as the ESCO to liaise with the school authority. We're always in touch with them, with the principal. We'll share ideas with them and talk to them on the need to improve security. If they have challenges, they can also come back to us as the alumni to tell us, oh, these are the areas we're having challenges. Because we also know that the issue of security rely at the end of the day, some of the policies are driven at the highest level. And I'm sure the government too is looking at it, that at the end of the day, what we as alumni can do is among ourselves, we'll try and, when you pay visits, let's look at possible ways we think this security can be improved. A lot of security issues in the future will be addressed by use of technology. It's not going to be based on physical security, building walls. Those walls can even be broken and they'll be penetrated. But we'll continue to, as ESCO, all of us, we should continue to, at our own private times, try to liaise with the school authorities at our own private time. We'll continue to do that at the ESCO too. And if we have any contacts or people that have papers that can address issues on security concerning the schools, can also bring it up on the platforms. We discuss them, and from those ideas, we can collate it and send it to the authorities. That can help in addressing some of these security challenges. The issue of mentorship program too is very, very important. Like Teteta mentioned on Sinayo, it's very, very important because if we mentor the younger ones, then they are likely to perform better than us, and that should be the aim. They should do better than us. Teteta mentioned it also rightly that if he had the right type of mentorship when he was younger, possibly some mistakes we made in our life, we may have made it. We can't live our life backwards again. We'll have to move some of those mistakes or the effects of those mistakes remain with us forever. Thank God we're alive. It didn't give us scars. But please, it's all a collective responsibility. The chapters have a lot of role to play in the mentorship programs. And please, I want to appeal to all members to please key into social platforms too. A lot of benefits we get from it because on the social platform, we also get ideas from other schools who will share similar ideas, similar beliefs, and I think it will help us a lot. Regarding the constitutional amendment, fine, it's something long overdue. We believe it's not, it's been, this process has been on for years. We inherited it from the former ESCO, they've done some work. And I'm sure the ESCO before them must have done some work. We are just giving a feedback also that, look, there's work and there's still more work to be done. We need a lot of inputs from the field. And the inputs you are giving now, we also see where it can be accommodated. We will never have a constitution that's 100% perfect. The points of whether the association should be driven by sets or chapters must strike a balance on both. At the end of the day, whatever agreement we are coming, there must be a balance between set and rep, sets and chapters. Because while the chapters are a unifying factor that cuts across all sets, the sets tend to only focus on themselves. And that's not, again, our motto is pro-unitative for unity. So the sets at times tend to limit you to your interaction or whatever you are doing to your sets. The chapters help to build across all sets. And especially when you are talking of mentorship programs, the sets, I've been 78 sets. Who am I going to mentor in 78 sets? Whom am I going to empower? If I'm empowering somebody in 78 sets, I'm empowering it on personal friendship basis. The people that need empowerment basically will not likely be in your set, they'll be the younger ones. So we must strike a balance between sets and chapters. Both levels have critical roles to play. None is more important than the other. We must take that into consideration. What is important is that we must all be unified and be guided by the motto of our school, which is Pro Unitate, and we must direct all efforts towards moving the association to greater heights and placing our school at the highest pedestal among other schools in the Federation. Thank you very much. On that note, I will go to reminiscences, which will give spaces. Reminiscences are just for a mini bonding session where we expect some few speakers to tell us one or two of their past experiences in school or past experiences with some of their colleagues they've not seen for years, how they felt. And it's also a form of mentorship indirectly for younger ones who are online too. When they see your reminiscences, you learn a lot of things from it. But we don't want to make it for too long. We'll implore some few, anybody who is interested should please indicate for this segment for reminiscences so that we can move forward, and thereafter we can go and end the meeting with usually a vote of thanks, which will be given by the chairman of the LOC. So on this note, I'll give I'll leave the stage and allow the MC to direct this segment for reminiscences. We have gone past AOB, so I'm just saying because I don't confuse AOB with reminiscences. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President. We're almost done, so we'll just keep going. Mr. Chairman Beauty, please, you'll be next after this, so just get ready. I'm not seeing any hands up yet, but I have the National Vice President who wants to reminisce on some, let me just be that. So I'll pass over to her for her to say something. Madam Vice President.
Hello, everyone. While we're still waiting, I can remember my time in school. To me, it was fun. I was never homesick. It was always interesting traveling down from Port Harcourt. So I remember one particular incident. In fact, seeing Caroline reminded me of it. We were told it was punishment-free day. And my set, we like Ebo. Anybody that knows my set knows our set, we like Ebo. So we had this brilliant idea. While people were studying, we decided to think of how we would spend our punishment-free day. So some guys decided, let's have Ebo, while boys are going to girls' hostel. Girls. And Honorable, sorry if you are watching, so I will call your name. It was Aminu Shagari. Yeah. So they threw a party and we were so interested in it. All of us went in our best, dancing. Some people carried back. I remember Caroline. She was in the airport when Wahala busted. She carried her books as if she was studying. So we heard the principal was coming, somebody was coming while we were all dancing, having fun. So everybody run. Imagine me running because, of course, I can't run. So we ran from the hostel, from the classroom block to the hostel. And the worst part of it that they still knew the people, because once from far they see one person running, they can say, okay, that is me. So it must be Ayola. Ayola, I know you are here, you are watching. You are Nike, you are watching from the UK. I know you are in that party too. You know, Remy, oh, sorry, sir. I think you were in that party, I'm not sure. So all of us, we had fun, but we ran, but we had some days of misery, because we heard we were going to be expelled, we are going to be suspended, and we are going to do that. So it was fun time for us. Thank you. Somebody.
Thank you, Senior Maeve. I can see a hand up. I didn't see the hand again. Has it gone? No more hand. Anybody physically present?
Okay,
Senior Ayo Joseph wants to say something.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I would like to speak on the 40th anniversary of leaving school and the wonderful time we had when we went to Ilorin in 2017. It was a great time. Some of us had not seen each other since we left school in 77 for 40 years. So it was a time that we came together and had a great time. And then also went to the school and carried out a project for the school. The 78 set followed, the 79 set followed, but last year, I think the 1980 set, due to COVID and the attendant protocols that it required, were not able to go. But I would like to encourage sets that we could all continue this tradition, even if it's not at the same scale, of looking at going back to the school or celebrating the 40th anniversary of leaving the school, with the school doing something for the school, even if we cannot come together as we did in 2017. So please let us continue this tradition. 40 years of leaving school, many of us are still active, many of us are still able. By the time we look at the years after, probably 50 years, some of us may be too old to again engage in such a time like that. So please, sets 80 set, 81 set, please let us look at also finding time to go to the school and do something for the school. Thank you.
Thank you, Senior Ayo Joseph. Let me just pump up my set. I know the 1985 set was in the early 2020, just before the pandemic, and we did some contribution to the laboratory, bought some lab equipment which we did donated, and is actually in our report in this brochure. So that was big up to 1985. I can't see any more hands up, and nobody here, so we'll just move on. Mr. President, permission to move on? One hand up. Muftia Adebang. Can you just go ahead and mute yourself and go ahead? Muftia, go ahead and unmute yourself and go ahead.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you can hear me. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon. We can hear you. Go ahead. Good afternoon.
Yes. I also want to. I am calling from Ilorin. I also want to inform us that the 86 set also had a project which was done in 2016, where we supplied chairs and tables to the school, to the hall where they write WAEC. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead. We can hear you loud and clear.
Yes, yes. Yeah, I just wanted to say that because when I was hearing some sets saying what they did, so I just said I should also inform of that. Thank you. Network.
What is next? The meeting is silent.
All right, I think something has just come up that we need to take into account. If you notice, two sets have just come up to tell us what they did for the school. Very commendable. I'm thinking, there must be a way we can always showcase this, maybe during a general gathering like this. Next AGM, those sets that have done something can send report to the executive, and we'll be able to beam it for everybody to see, or share it for every other person to see. It's a way of also encouraging others
and also a way of letting us know that some are actually thinking towards the line everybody is planning for the school. It's worth doing. Let's have the records, share the records from time to time. It will encourage us, all of us. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. No more hands. We'll just move on to the next segment. Just about 2 more to go. So, Mr. Chairman, BOT, are you ready for us, sir, for your closing remarks?
Yes. Chairman,
Hello. He's there, he's there. Yeah, go ahead, sir. We're on to you for your closing remarks.
Thank you very much, Mr. MC. Thank you very much, all of you that have been able to make it to this meeting, despite the significant problems we faced trying to organize it in February. I'm extremely happy to say that I see many names. Some I remember only the names. Some I remember the faces from all over the country. From Abuja, from Lagos, from Port Harcourt, from Ilorin. The Lagos chairman is here, and the Ilorin chairlady, Mrs. Balogun, is here also. I see people from America, Bumi Adebajo, Yemi Fatoki, Professor Etelbert Ogunjefo, a renowned engineer, by the way. From the UK, Tokun Waladele, Ayo Dunubi. Excuse me if I don't call all names. I'm just trying to show my joy that this has been a most successful meeting. I see Dr. Salawu. I see past presidents, Linda Olani and Davibi. I see the first deputy head girl of the school and a matriarch in the association, Senior Ruby Nakodia. Thank you so much to everybody. All those I call their names, all those I can't remember to call their names. I see Elder Etekamba Umore, who's a pillar of the association. I see Jimo Akogo. I see very specifically and very thankfully the members of Port Harcourt branch, led by the indefatigable Vice President, Maeve Bestman. Port Harcourt branch should be very proud of themselves.
Thank you, sir.
Port Harcourt branch was determined that this meeting should hold. Port Harcourt branch invested financially of themselves, of their passion, of their commitment. Despite everything, despite all the negativity, despite COVID, despite insecurity issues, despite the fears by many members, this meeting is holding because Port Harcourt branch wanted this meeting to hold. We thank you very much. We see the amount of work you're putting into this. I think if anybody can hear, please join me to clap for him. I see also the National ESCO. On behalf of the BOT and on behalf of all the very happy members of the association, very satisfied members of the association, we are very grateful for the work you do. I see a born leader, Rear Admiral Muazu Salami. It's not for fun that you become a Rear Admiral in the Navy of Nigeria. And we are benefiting immensely from that capability and that commitment today. We chose rightly at our last election to be the president. I see a complete exco. Everybody doing their work throughout the year. We are very proud of you. We thank you for the work, for your time, for your finances. You are laying a foundation that will be difficult to follow. But I'm confident that our school produced only people like you. We will not have any problem in following on. Thank you very much. I want to quickly address something that came up on the chat, which the president was unable to note, which is a recurring issue for us over the years. And that is from our old students, Jimo Akogo, Jemi Fatoki. Mr. Akogo says, if the only achievement by this body is ability to organize AGMs, many of us will determine if that's the best way to use the funds we are contributing. And our distinguished member, Mr. Adeyemi Fatoki, said, I have the same concern as Jimo. What charitable work is being done? What is being done to help the school or alumni who may be struggling financially or with health issues? I choose this opportunity to quickly respond to that, because this has been a recurring concern over the years. Does the association exist to organize AGMs? Let me assure you that since 1985, when this association started in Lagos, on a yearly basis and in aggregate, I believe we have not contributed anything less than 50 million naira to improving facilities in FGCI. Every year, Lagos branch, for more than a decade, contributed one thing or the other. It was part of our activity that every year we had to do something in the school. The Old Students Association has refurbished the assembly once, not once, twice, repairing the roof, painting. Apart from the sets, doing a lot of other work. I've had mentorship visits to the school, too numerous to count. Part of what has happened is that now that the National Association is strong, maybe this is a little bit neglected. But I want to assure you that it is not correct to say that all the monies that is collected goes to organizing AGM. And again, I would like to commend this EXCO in this regard. In this current year, we have received close to 5 million naira. And the beauty of only, whatever will be spent on the AGM, the EXCO has to raise. That is what has happened. What we need to realize is that the amount of monies we raise are very meager, not enough to do much. So that while it looks like a burden on the sets, bring money every year, we really have no choice. We have to run this association that we all love so much. The best part of my life was spent in FGC Lorry, and I can never give up that. I wish to appeal to you. I wish to appeal to those who are here. I wish to appeal to the set reps that there are many things that are done that are not adequately publicized, and we will do better to publicize them. But we have since decided that also because of the complaints of members, the funds of the association will not be used to run the AGM. We will run the AGM with funds that we can raise, and we have proved that this year. My appeal will be that we should encourage our sets to contribute yearly. Even if you have been given 500,000 naira to contribute. Have you contributed 200? Have you contributed 300? If only 5 or 6 sets continue to contribute, what can we do with that money in terms of what the esteemed gentlemen have asked? What can you do in terms of, it says, struggling financially, those who are struggling financially or with health issues? If you have a major surgery today, 3 million, 5 million naira, that's all the money that the association has. So I thought that I will spend a little time to explain this, that what we need is to get stronger. We can only get stronger if we have more money. If each set contributes what it is supposed to contribute every year, we will be able to do more of what you're asking us to do. Thank you for that. I also want to mention that the Constitution, which the ESCO has worked on so hard, needs to be circulated to the branches, needs to be fully discussed in the branches. Our branches are in Lagos, Port Harcourt, Abuja, and Ilorin. And we do have the UK and the US branches, so that it will not be like the Constitution we know so well, where we, the people, have been quoted, but we do not know about it. The Constitution is for the members of the association, and it should be widely circulated before it is brought back to the AGM for approval. Thank you so much. I have spoken much more than I wish to speak. Again, thank you, Port Harcourt branch. Thank you for accepting to host us again next year. We pray that there will be no COVID and there will be no security worries. Thank you, everybody who has made out 4 to 5 hours to attend this meeting. It is good to see all of you again. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, Mr. Chairman. Some very, very inspiring remarks there. We're very grateful for your attendance. I will remind everybody again that I saw you logged on 30 minutes before the start or more than, and you've been here throughout, which can only show of your commitment to the association. Thank you very much, sir. We've come to the end of this AGM and reunion. I want to hand over to the LOC chairman, who will give us the vote of thanks. Mr. Chairman, sir.
Good afternoon, everybody. The chair, BOT, and your distinguished members, the National Executive, ably led by the indefatigable leader, Rear Admiral Muazu Salami, the various chapters represented physically here and also joining from all over the world. Various sets, I want to thank you all for the opportunity given to Port Harcourt chapter to host this year's AGM. We actually inherited the rights sometime last year, and with all high hope, we went into preparations before COVID-19 struck. Tentatively, we set the date for this year's AGM in February, but due to disruptions of COVID-19, we were compelled to suspend it indefinitely. After February date, we saw some openings, a bit encouraging to maybe start all over and pick a date in the year for yet another physical gathering. We started another set of preparations, reaching out to everybody, but lo and behold, the second wave came with another threat of third wave. So in the wisdom of BOT and the National Executive and the LOC, Local Organizing Committee members, we now felt we should look at a different option. Because if you know, AGM and reunion, actually there are constitutional requirements, the constitutional mandate, and not to host or hold any will amount to constitutional breach. So we came up with the idea of the virtual meeting. And we say thank you to everybody for giving a nod to this and running with us to date for us to have this meeting. It's been so wonderful. And whatever success that you have recorded, we owe it to all of you. But if where there are gray areas or failures that we've not been able to patch up with, we take responsibility. It remains a learning curve. We continue to improve. Above all, I want to thank the association for recognizing the little we have done and giving a further endorsement that by next year, 2022, we will host the AGM again. We pray and believe that the atmosphere will be better for us to meet and of course, treat you to Port Harcourt hospitality. We want to thank you all so much for all we have done today, the way we have engaged and interacted with each other, the passion we've shown, and all the ideas that we have shared here. By the special grace of God, the various teams and chapters and sets will start working towards making sure we realize the goals we have set for ourselves, especially for the next year's AGM and the 50th anniversary of the association. We have some limited copies of this year's brochure. I don't know if you can show it. This year's brochure, we are going to distribute all this. We're going to distribute it to BOT members, the executive, national executive, the chapters and sets will get some copies. We'll arrange and make sure we send them to you. You can keep them in your record, the gallery for every member to be able to access. At this point, I want to say thank you all. For those who actually came physically to be with us, we appreciate your love and your company. But most especially, I want to say a special thank you to the president. He has been with us. This is the third day he has been with us in Port Harcourt, accommodating himself, taking care of himself in a 5-star hotel in the city from his own pocket. It's still in line with the earlier, comments by the VP, the Vice President, that he has been a sole sponsor of most of the activities of this organization. We thank you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, at this point, I want to say God bless you all and thank you for being part of this. God bless.
Thank you so much. This is the end. Media, can you just play the national anthem as we are going? Everything has been said and done. Rise up for the national anthem, and we just play it and, as we go.
We can sing the national, we still remember it. But they can play while we sing. Play while we sing.
Nigeria's all be to serve our Fatherland with love and strength and faith. The heroes of our heroes of all rise, all compatriots, Nigerians come on men to serve our fatherland with love and strength and faith. The labor of our heroes was joining on in the land to serve with heart and voice. One nation bound in freedom, peace and unity.
Bye-bye, everybody. Everybody. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.